Join me as I dive into a nostalgia trip and see if I can survive playing with these wild 70s toys. In this video, you'll take a trip down memory lane and discover some of the craziest toys from the 1970s that left a mark on childhoods and sparked both joy and concern. The Pet Rock, for example, was a toy that was incredibly popular in the 1970s. It's hard to believe that kids would pay good money for a rock in a box, but they did. The Pet Rock was marketed as a low-maintenance pet that didn't need to be fed or walked, and kids loved it. But as we'll see, the Pet Rock was also a symbol of the excesses of the 70s toy market, where profit often came before safety. The Easy Bake Oven was another toy that was incredibly popular in the 1970s. Who wouldn't want a mini oven that could bake tiny cakes and cookies? But as we'll see, the Easy Bake Oven was also a serious burn hazard, and many kids were injured as a result of playing with it. The oven's heating element was exposed, and kids would often touch it, causing serious burns. It's astonishing that this toy was allowed on the market in the first place. The Slime Factory was another toy that kids loved in the 1970s. Who wouldn't want to create their own slimy creations? But as we'll see, the Slime Factory was also a serious health hazard, and many kids were exposed to toxic chemicals as a result of playing with it. The Slime Factory contained a number of hazardous materials, including asbestos, and it's a miracle that more kids weren't seriously hurt. BB guns aren't technically categorized as toys, but kids in the 1970s sure treated them like they were. Kids were gifted BB guns as playthings by every well-meaning pop around the block. Sharpshooting practice only held so much of a thrill, which leads to how BB guns hit this list. Chemistry sets. Today's kids' chemistry sets are as safe as they can be, with mild, harmless chemicals and plastic lab equipment, so no child can ever inadvertently cook meth, release toxic gases, or build a bomb. But back in the 70s, not so much. One love-to-know Gen X staffer recalls their kid's chemistry set that was filled with actual dangerous chemicals. Sodium cyanide, anyone? Alcohol-filled Bunsen burners, and glass beakers and test tubes. While legislation in the 60s required manufacturers to begin to label substances that could be caustic, flammable, explosive, and toxic, the chemicals were still right there in some sets with warnings they should be kept away from young children. But when did Gen X latchkey kids looking for some excitement read warning labels? But of all the toys from the 1970s, one stands out as the most shocking. The Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab was a toy that was marketed towards kids who were interested in science. It came with a number of radioactive materials, including uranium ore, and kids were encouraged to conduct their own experiments with them. It's hard to believe that a toy like this was ever allowed on the market, but it's a testament to the lax safety standards of the time. The Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab was eventually recalled, but not before many kids had already been exposed to the hazardous materials it contained. It's a miracle that there weren't more cases of radiation poisoning as a result of this toy. The recall of the Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab marked a turning point in toy safety regulations, and it's a testament to the lessons learned from this and other hazardous toys. As we look back on these crazy 70s toys, it's clear that we've come a long way in terms of prioritizing safety above all else. Today's toys are subject to much stricter safety regulations, and it's a testament to the lessons learned from these earlier, more hazardous toys. Wrap up by summarizing the key lessons learned about safety and nostalgia, reflecting on how far we've come in toy manufacturing. So there you have it, folks. A trip down memory lane that's sure to leave you shaking your head in amazement. From the Pet Rock to the Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab, these toys are a testament to the excesses of the 1970s toy market. But they're also a reminder of how far we've come in terms of prioritizing safety above all else. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride. Encourage viewers to share their favorite 70s toys in the comments and suggest which toys they'd like to see featured in future videos. What's your favorite 70s toy? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've got a suggestion for a future video, be sure to let me know that too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.